F01 Studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey, welcome to the Detroit Cast on a Friday with Mike and Jay. Full crowd in here today. We got Big E, Mickey is here, Dog is an asshole is here, and
we're just missing the poos.
Yeah. Someone's not working for a few days, so no poos.
Someone else can babysit the poos.
Yeah.
Who said she could take a day off?
Well,
yeah,
it happens.
She is the breadwinner. Am I wrong?
Yes, you are wrong.
I'm not.
Son
I
of a
am.
bitch. Yes.
Come on, E, get him. Get him, E.
Let me see the W-2 forms that prove otherwise.
You want to see my old W-2s, you son of a
Your
bitch?
old ones? No, I want to see last year's.
They're being processed at the time. I can't show you those.
They are. You get them in January.
Shut up, you. How are you, buddy? How was your day?
You can't ask me that.
No, you can't ask
me that. We're not going to go into small talk banter. We decided.
No.
It's off the table.
You totally missed the conversation yesterday.
No, we're not going to
I'm
do it.
allowed to ask you how your day is because you usually do stuff and things come out of that.
My day was very busy, filled with various details.
Boring.
Yeah. And, ironically, this would be the day for me to ask you how your day was. According to Facebook, you got out of the house, dude.
I did. I didn't like it, but
Yeah.
I did.
You had the trifecta picture on Facebook.
I did.
You had you out of the house, Beth sitting next to you at a Tiger game.
Yeah.
I mean, that just begged comment and question and like. It was beautifully done, Mike. Well played.
Thank you. I wasn't trying to play anything special, but yeah, it got a lot of response. Silly picture, and most people claiming that it was either doctored photo.
Yeah.
Because it was in the picture.
And you were out of the house.
I was out of the house.
That's from 2006.
Which my sweatshirt was. God, it was freezing at Tiger Stadium today.
That's all you were wearing? You weren't wearing a coat, dude?
I had gloves and somebody brought a little blankety thing. But yeah, they ended up
Beth in her
losing.
Scarf and everything. She's always got a scarf.
All bundled up. Yeah.
Type of chick that goes to an Italian film festival.
Yeah. Well, it was freezing out. What are you going to do? It was funny. We were walking into the stadium and we parked underground near Chelly's Chili.
Uh-huh.
And we go up and there's a
picture that.
Yep, there's a homeless guy there, and these guys are getting interesting with their signs. This guy, big fat guy, homeless dude, and he's walking towards us and he's holding a sign, and usually it's like a war veteran, I need help.
Yeah.
His sign says, "I'm too ugly to get laid. I need help to buy a hooker."
I would have given
Please
that man
donate
money.
what you can.
See, that's what most jackasses would say, right? And so
Right.
that's why he did it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's clever, but no, I don't have anything to give you, my man. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
I'm just saying, I give them money when they're more just honest. And the guy's like, dude, I just want a beer.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's $2.
Yeah.
I don't. If I have cash, which I don't usually have cash anymore.
So you don't usually give money then?
I do it when I have
this
cash.
whole story about you giving money, that was embellished.
No,
wasn't it?
It wasn't
Whole
embellished.
thing
I
is
said, when I
embellished.
have cash, I'll do it.
Yeah, you don't.
We know he's not afraid to panhandle.
He's been on the other side of that pan.
Yeah.
That family, fuck that family, dude.
He's actually held the
Hold
handle.
out $40 fucking for their 4 family. Look at me. I'm in Vegas. It's not like I'm wearing.
Look at you.
Well, no, at that time I was wearing nice clothes and stuff. It's like, you couldn't hand over $3 effing dollars.
Yeah.
$3 effing dollars.
We went through this. We agreed.
Yeah.
You should have given it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Canadians, they do things differently. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
But then on the way out of the game, we're walking out and a guy comes up to us and he's like, "Hey," and they've always got that story.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, "Hey,
Yeah, my car.
Wonder if you can help me. I need bus fare."
Mhm.
You're like, dude,
The bus fare.
yeah, he wanted money for a bus or something. And I was like,
was he going to take your address down and give you the money later? And
no, I was just like, yeah, good luck with that,
Dude, I once called a guy out. A guy was doing that to us. We were driving out west with my parents, and it was me and my parents going to see my grandma in San Diego. No idea where my siblings were. I don't remember. But we stopped at a rest area, and they had the whole thing going where there was a rest area across the the freeway, and the guy's like pointing, yeah, see my car's over there on the other side, it's broken down, and so there's a car with a hood up and his buddy's over there, trying to fix it.
Yeah,
but he's on this side of the freeway, so nobody can really check, is there really
it'd be
a car
a pain
problem
in the ass to,
but dude, all I need is like $60, and all this stuff. And he's hitting up my dad, and my dad's a total softie for, not that he was going to give him $60, but
yeah,
I could see my dad was starting to
feel a
crack.
10 or something.
I'm like 12 at the time. I go, hey man, you're wearing some pretty sweet Oakleys. How about this? You said you'd send us the money back if we give it to you. How about you give me the Oakleys, and when you send us the money, I'll send you your Oakleys back.
Oh,
and he was like, oh, blah, blah, no, that's cool, man. And he just kind of saunters off. He didn't want to give up his Oakleys.
Wow, that's hilarious. Look at you litigating
Call that
at an
son of a
early age.
bitch out, man.
No, you're right. Good for you, Jay.
Thank
That's
you.
funny. That's funny.
That's hilarious.
So did you give my man some bus fare?
No, I didn't. I can't
Way
afford
to
to
be
give
heartless.
anyone bus fare right now. That's the problem with.
Like, it's like you say the family should have given him $3.
Well, yeah,
give
if
the
I
guy
was a
$3.
family, especially if I was
You
a
have no
Canadian
idea.
family, I mean,
Well, and we could
This guy might have needed bus
Yeah.
fare. Really, truly needed bus fare. Really, truly needed bus fare.
yeah, but I think there's
Shuttle
a
fare,
difference.
as it were.
Right.
There's a difference in panhandling on the bus and outside the bus.
Well, and I had a
Like-
5, and I'm literally looking just for 3 singles. I'm saying I don't have any cash. I could have had a credit card on me. I could have.
I don't know. Maybe I should have, but I was just
No,
like,
you shouldn't.
yeah,
I'm just giving you a hard
kept
time.
walking. I was just like, yeah, hey, good luck with that or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I said, but anyway, the Tigers ended up losing. What bummer. And the Wings are going now, so we'll be half paying attention here as they go into overtime as we're starting to do this. But
To
dare I
blame
say,
E, by the way, before you get to the big show, you can blame him for the tie at this point. He
Yeah.
jinxed that shit.
Yeah.
You know you did, E.
yeah, you
I
did.
know. I started talking about overtime.
Son of a bitch. He's just
2-goal
chirping.
lead. 2-goal leads.
Ugh.
My own fault.
Yep. So everybody can blame me if things go sour in this series, because I'm telling you now, the Wings lose this game
Oh,
tonight.
it's over.
It's over. Yeah, it's over. But dare I say, a big show today. We got a lot to get to. We've got a girl that wound up dead, and I think this happened a couple years ago, but the lawsuit is coming to fruition now, and family's not so happy with the police and their handling of things. A story we meant to do yesterday, and we just kind of ran out of time, about the what do they call it? Condom.
Yeah, condom, Mike.
Condom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prophylactic.
Right. Yeah. A balloon, unfortunate incident there. We got some ISIS updates, follow up to our story yesterday on Popeye's chicken. Also a follow up on that dementia sex story. We'll get to that. Have you been following at all the Baltimore goings on?
No, I don't have cable, so I've not been able to chime into any of the news. Tell me what's happening, Mike.
Well, a whole lot hasn't changed. Things got a little heated this afternoon out there in Baltimore because, as we've talked about, they've just sent all their white reporters into the mix and let them rough it up a little bit with the people. And it's so funny, like the way reporting is handled now, because these guys would tell you that they're actually reporters reporting on something. Like, usually you go and you get all the information and then you put a story together and then you broadcast that piece. Here's the story of what I did. They're essentially live blogging now.
Yeah, you're right.
And acting like this is the quote unquote news.
Yeah.
And so it's like you just go into a very, very hostile environment and you're just sending live feeds streaming out to people and you're just taking what you can get.
So what skill does that take?
None.
It just takes
Oh,
some balls, I guess, to walk up to some of these guys a little bit.
Dude, anybody can do that and go, how are you feeling at this moment? We there's some activity going on.
man. Fuck you. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, give me that back.
Clearly tensions are high. Back to you, Brooke.
That's a great one.
You know, and it's like, but
Young
they're
men
not.
are expressing their views.
So it's a whole lot of that.
I can't.
And but the people they're choosing to do these live, they're doing live interviews. There's no vetting that goes on. Like Anderson Cooper last night, after we got done with the show, I was watching Anderson Cooper, and he's interviewing one of the guys that filmed one of the 10 people that shot some really shitty video all over the place, and he's running behind this car, and you can, for a few frames or a minute, you can get some video of the cops handling of Freddie Gray.
Right.
And it doesn't really show anything. It doesn't show the cops abusing anybody, but everybody's pinpointing, dissecting things. And they're interviewing this kid who's basically just a street kid who happened to have a cell phone on him and film this. And so now you've got, these New York-based hosts interviewing this credible witness to the scene. And it's like, well, tell me, what exactly did you see when this happened?
And they're taking it as gospel.
Right?
Every
and it's
single
like,
word.
Well, yeah, this guy was there and shit, and he got dragged away and stuff. But the police was. Well, did you see any sort of abuses going on? Now, granted, nobody saw anything that we didn't see. We've all seen the video. We all know it's a dumb question.
Yeah,
there wasn't. You didn't see some abuses.
But they're
on the
leading
video,
the witness, aren't they?
But they're totally leading the witness. And what does the witness do? He falls for the trap, and he's like, well, yeah, I didn't. The taser was going off. And he's going, you saw them tase him? Well, no, I didn't actually see him shoot it, but I heard the electric shocks going off from the taser. Well, anybody that's followed the story knows for a fact that no tasers were used. So there's no way this shithead heard the electric shocks from the taser going off as they tased him multiple times, Anderson. It's like, and you're still interviewing this guy like he's a credible,
right,
quote, credible witness. And it's like, dude, this is just ratcheting this shit up more and more every time you put people like that on. And then you're using that as quotes when you go to the next guy. Well, the last expert we had on
heard that there was a taser used.
We've got some eyewitness accounts that say they heard electric sounds from the taser. Comment? And people are stuck on, we know that there were no tasers were discharged. So fuck off. That's a bullshit narrative that you're playing up. And so, every time someone gets, so all of a sudden the shit starts ramping up this afternoon, which is why this powder keg is going to blow. It's going to blow. This is us versus them. Bottles are being thrown at the cops again. Tensions are high. We want justice now. We demand justice now. Well, that's not what you want. You want people thrown in jail. You want justice because you're not letting the justice system the way it's designed to play out. Like that's the problem with it. And I feel like it's sad because they're taking advantage of this situation and these people. And I feel like they're being mocked. You've got this really poor community that feels bad about something. It's a hot situation, and you flood that area with all these camera crews and put them on camera, and you're expecting them to perform. It's like a performance of some sort, and we're just here to film the train wreck. Let's get cameras on the ground so we can film the circus.
Yeah, and you're setting up the rest of the country to go to mock them, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're not going to articulate their arguments well, righty? These young gentlemen on the streets.
Exactly.
You're right.
And so, there's going to be a lot of what we saw yesterday. Oh, fuck you. And then the rest of the country, starts throwing out the term animals and fuck this. Who cares what these animals do?
Yeah, look at them. This is how they behave.
Yeah, it's just sort of begging that kind of narrative from the other side.
Totally.
And thus the division grows.
Yeah. And nobody seems to get that. They would hear a conversation like this, which is just an honest discussion about what we're seeing from this perspective. Because if you're watching from an overhead, not having a dog in this fight, so to speak, it's very easy to see what they're doing and how they're manipulating the story and driving that. Like when you pick up on words meant to incite, like, well, you said lynch mob, and take it out of context.
You said dog in this fight, by the way, and that kind of bothered me.
Did it? I'm sorry. I apologize deeply. Deeply apologize if anyone was offended by that.
No, but they're doing exactly what we've criticized the Reverend Al Sharpton for doing. They're stirring shit up, and that's their business.
Yeah.
And they'd have a whole lot less business if there was racial peace, right?
Right.
So stir it up, kick the hornet's nest.
Yeah.
Make these guys look like idiots so that the rest of the country can look at them, call them animals and whatever else. And then, as I said, the division grows and the whole cycle keeps going.
Yeah.
And
but
they're able to have these news TV shows that we now watch.
Yeah.
I don't have cable. I don't, but people like you do. You're now watching a show.
It should be criminal to call
racial
them news
unrest.
shows,
right.
by the way.
It's a reality
television.
TV. Yeah. Entertainment TV. It's, should be celebrate good times. Come on.
Yep.
Should be
No, you're right.
the theme song to this thing once it gets going and all the rioting begins and all the looting.
When you see when it turns into a thing where you've got graphics specifically for this, it's like da 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 unrest in Baltimore, and like that's the tagline they're going to go with. Whatever, I don't even know what it is for this one, but they're making it a produced bit. This is time to go to the breaking news. This is what's hot off the presses. Look at this shit going down. And it's like nobody gives a fuck what the real story is. The real story is irrelevant.
Yeah,
the facts don't matter
like
at all.
Said, how can there be justice that these people are calling justice? How can you have justice if you don't know the basic facts?
Yeah, and you're not interested in hearing them.
No.
Like we said yesterday, you could have video inside in the truck, and we don't know what happened. This may very well come out at some point, Jay, that cops got fucking furious with this guy and roughed him up. They gave him a rough ride in the van, and things went too far. It's not that hard to break a neck, and they snapped this guy's neck. Maybe that comes out, and you hold people accountable for that.
Yeah.
But if that didn't happen, if it did, it perpetuates that narrative like this is just commonplace. They're being judged on the actions of every other incident that you see around the country. It goes back to Michael Brown, Eric Garner. All of those come into play. It's just the cops doing what they do, beating on people.
But if it didn't happen that way, then you've got a half a dozen people whose lives will be completely ruined for no good reason.
Yeah.
Along with a lot of property and a lot of other lives just tangentially that are going to be fucked through the rioting and whatever else comes of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure death and destruction.
Yeah. And if you asked, MSNBC or CNN or any of them, they would absolutely think they're putting a spotlight on an issue that needs spotlighting instead of the truth of the matter is, which someone profiting tremendously off the shit storm that's going on and the misery. Because I believe that the people that are not rioting, that's not the right word. It's going to at some point. It's already starting. But those people are emotional and they're feeling it and they feel like there's unjust things are going on. And that very well may be legitimate in some respects. I'm not denying that doesn't go on, but this idea of this crew coming to town to film it all and broadcast it to everybody and ramp it up. They're just throwing matches. That's their role, is to keep throwing matches on the gasoline and see where you can get it to blow.
Absolutely.
Because that's great for ratings. And it sickens me to watch it. Like, are you kidding me? The rest of the country, unfortunately, or fortunately, probably sees this and goes, yeah, more of this shit behavior from these people. And it just keeps dividing. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it's going. And so we'll see. I'm just waiting for that keg to blow.
Yeah.
A couple people were arrested today. And of course, that immediately turns into water bottles being thrown at cops, chance of murderers and all that shit. But kind of where we were going, just to finish that, if video were to surface that totally exonerated the cops, and it was an unfortunate incident, say the guy, and I know it's unlikely and not probable, but just for the argument's sake, if it turns out he's flailing himself in the truck in a rage and slams his head one too many times against the wall, which we see perps do in the back of cop cars all the time, slam their face into the window in a fit. If it happens that it's something like that and he hurt himself, it still wouldn't matter. Nobody's you would still blame the cops.
Yeah, you just back it up one step like we talked about. Then they back up. Whoa, why is he being put in there?
Yeah.
Why isn't he being properly secured?
Like a caged animal.
Yeah.
What did he do? A felony. Walking while black, running while black is a felony apparently in Baltimore. That'll get you murdered. Murderous cops.
Totally.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that they've got a job to do. That sucks, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody does it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Better men than me, man.
Yep. And then we've got a lawsuit finally has been filed with Michael Brown. Well, Michael didn't file it, obviously, but his mother did.
I get it.
Yeah, they're suing the people that took down the tree and stuff.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Is there any updates on the tree or no?
The tree was replanted. We'll see how long. Yeah.
The branch.
Yeah, there was still some that stalk could have still borne branches.
I was just gonna say that.
It really could have. I've seen.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I've seen worse trees than that, man. Come back. You just leave it for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's all about the roots, right?
It'll be fine.
I mean, unless they really fucked with the roots,
yeah,
nothing to worry about. You'll get it. But anyway, his parents have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Ferguson. Attorneys for Brown's parents promised the case would bring to light new forensic evidence and raise doubts about the police's version of events.
It won't bring forth new forensic evidence. The DOJ looked at every piece of evidence.
Yeah.
It'll just present evidence in the light that's most favorable to them is all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it might be evidence that they kind of shoved off to the side because it was bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, some
Yeah.
expert saying, oh, it happened this way.
We bring to the table Dorian Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. New evidence from Dorian.
A third story from Dorian, ladies and gentlemen.
This is brand new. Pay them and pay me a third. Yeah.
Haven't paid me a third.
They're claiming that this new forensic evidence was overlooked
Oh, sure.
through 3 investigations, including one from the Department of Justice
They wanted
for the United
so
States of
badly
America.
to find evidence that
Oh,
would go toward convicting the guy. Believe
Yeah.
me.
the Department of Justice did a half-assed job apparently
Yeah.
and missed some of this crucial forensic evidence, as if they weren't desperately searching for everything.
An
they could.
Obama, Eric Holder guided Department of Justice.
Exactly. Critical to point that out. If it comes to trial, the lawsuit could force a full review of all evidence in the shooting and bring key witnesses to be questioned in open court, including Darren Wilson.
Now, remember, it's the lower standard, the civil standard. So we remember that in OJ, how he got off in the criminal trial.
Yeah,
It's beyond a
33
reasonable
million.
doubt, tough to prove. But you show beyond a preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not that it happened this way.
Yeah.
Then you got a much easier standard.
Except this is the exact opposite of O.J. Simpson.
Right.
O.J. Simpson was dead to rights,
Yeah.
guilty as fuck of double murder. And anybody that's looked with even half an eyeball at that case knows O.J. Simpson walked because of racism.
Mike, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah, I
Jury did
remember
their
that.
job.
Any sane person who's looked at any part of that evidence knows O.J. Simpson is guilty as shit of double murder. So the fact that it wasn't probably that hard in a
Mike,
civil suit.
That wasn't a high-speed chase. It was a low-speed follow. Who am I? I'm Johnny Cochran
With
in a
the
knit
knit
cap. I love that shit.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my God, they don't even fit. I mean, look at how my hands are
Crazy.
totally going backward at this point, trying to put on a pair of gloves.
What an asshole.
fucker.
Those lawyers,
Could you imagine?
textbook foul up there.
Yeah.
Textbook. What was his name? Marsha Clark and
Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden.
Christopher Darden. I think that was on Chris Darden.
Yeah.
Chris Darden was the glove guy.
Yeah, he was.
And boy, did they fuck that up. Meanwhile, he can't get his fingers in there because it's soaked with dried OJ blood. Those Bruno Mollies. I didn't know wear those ugly ass shoes. And then after the trial, they have 50,000 pictures of him in those ugly ass shoes
Yep.
on the field at Bills games.
And there's like 0.05 of the population would even think about knowing what a Bruno Mali is.
yeah,
And
yeah.
lo and behold, he's got a
He's got a pair. The same ones that were imprinted at the murder scene.
dude.
Crazy. Crazy.
Oh, God. So they say that the lawsuit alleges that Wilson told the two to get the fuck out of the street, right? We remember that.
Well, Mike, that's
Which-
over the line.
Well, it caused tension to escalate. The unnecessary and unwarranted profanity it caused this encounter. Otherwise, it would have been an uneventful
Sure.
encounter.
I'm sure.
So the fact that he said, get the fuck out of the street was that
Get the fuck out of the Why? No problem, officer. I'm sure that's what the young
Yeah.
gentleman's response would have been.
Moments later, they became involved in a scuffle through the open window of Wilson's police vehicle. I don't know how that happens, and you're still going to try to blame the cop there, but whatever. Good luck with that, Ben Crump. Wilson shot Brown after the scuffle spilled into the street. Witnesses said Brown appeared to be trying to surrender. Yeah, well, a lot of witnesses said a lot of dumb shit. They also said he was shot from behind multiple times with his hands up. Unfortunately, you had your own forensics team look at that information and go, yeah, the whole hands up, don't shoot was total horse shit. They know that.
Other witnesses said that he came at him right like a raging bull, and the forensics somewhat showed that.
Yeah,
I
they sure
believe.
did. They sure did. Now, you're going to file a lawsuit against the city of Ferguson and Darren Wilson. Couldn't you just as easily? I mean, I don't know what the rules are, but I would think that Darren Wilson would have absolutely a lawsuit against this family for defamation of character. His career's ruined, and everything else. They've destroyed his life for a justified shooting. I'd go after these lawyers that have destroyed him, called him a murderer and an executioner in public.
Yeah, but that's what they're contending he is. Truth is an absolute defense to defamation or slander. So if that's the truth,
but it's not the truth.
Well, how do you prove that?
Well, how do you prove the other?
Well, exactly. So where's that lawsuit go? I don't doubt that he would bring something like that. Honestly, there was no bigger fucking piece of slander than this case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By everybody, right?
Yeah.
By huge groups of people. So I don't doubt that that's somewhere in the future. But it's almost
from Wilson.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if he did something like that. Not, he's not going to get anything from this family, but against some of the other players, I don't remember who was saying what, but there were some big people saying he's a murderer.
Yeah. Could you go after people on a news program?
Didn't Richard Jewell do that? Didn't Richard Jewell get a bunch of money from
the Atlanta bomber
from NBC? I think
maybe
they jumped. They rushed to judgment on him.
Yeah,
and called him the
Olympic bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he definitely won a lot of money. I thought that was against the city, though, or
I think it was against NBC.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't remember like a particular anchor or anything like that, but I think it was the company.
Yeah, but these lawyers that figure they know it all. Everybody on TV is a lawyer now.
Yeah.
So they've got all these lawyers on TV, and every one of them is just dead to rights with their side of the version of events and their story. And
yeah, I would have been pretty careful with that, as maybe describing him as an alleged murderer, but. Yeah, I know a lot of people weren't.
Yeah,
and there's going to be they're not going to be able to sue Crump necessarily because he's arguing a legal position, and so
that gets you off the hook.
Yeah, he's saying what he says in the complaint, and it's going to be tough to. I don't know. You'd have to pick apart what he said beforehand, I guess, to figure that out.
That dude himself personally, Benjamin Crump, his narrative, especially in the early days of it, was they executed him in broad daylight. I'll never forget that. This Darren Wilson executed him in broad daylight. I mean, that was his story.
But he's representing the family at that time.
Right. So that makes it all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
All right. Another lawsuit will be coming. The cop that ran over that guy. All right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize this dude was like a Mexican guy or something, the victim.
He's got a hell of a Kitterman going, too.
He does.
Look at that.
I was thinking that was a black kid. I don't know why.
No. Yeah, his name, the officer, Rapico. He's the guy that rammed into the
one of the greatest cop videos of all time.
Into Mario Valencia.
Here he goes.
Oh, boom! Oh, Mario. Excuse me, I didn't see you there. Ooh. Oh.
Look at that son of a bitch. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
That's an awesome video.
Look at that hero, Michael Rapico. Rapico has spoken out for the first time now, and he says he was left with no other choice but to use deadly force. I gotta agree with him there. He's refused commands. He's holding what I believe to be a locked and loaded rifle. He was also warned that there were two officers on the street, or he says there were two officers in the street that in that busy intersection nearby. That is what I deem at this point to be lethal force encounter. I have two thoughts that go in my mind. I need to shoot him to stop the threat, or I need to run him over to stop the threat. Like the way this guy thinks.
Yeah. He's doing the kindler, gentler thing, I think.
Yeah.
Running him over. The dude lived.
He totally lived.
Shoot him, you're probably dead, man.
Yeah.
Great news.
So they're talking about this inquiry recording. So probably at the station they interviewed him.
Mm-hmm.
And he added he was 50 yards away from Valencia and felt that was too great a distance to safely take a shot. That's why you take multiple shots.
I wonder how police academies will treat this. Because I'm sure there's a lot of classroom time spent with real life situations.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's the situation, and here's the body cam, and this is what we're showing. Did this guy act appropriately, and this and that?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what they'll teach about this.
They might stay away from this one. I mean, I don't know. I guess it was a great move.
It's fucking sweet.
Valencia was rushed to the hospital there in Arizona in serious condition. Unfortunately, he did live. He was eventually booked into jail 2 days later.
I want to be on the record that I don't necessarily believe, unfortunately, he lived.
Well, unfortunately, he did. See, right here, I thought we got our man.
They did get him. He's in custody.
Cinder blocks just flying in the air.
The best part is he went over that wall that's 10 feet away from him. He landed on the other side of that wall. That
Imagine my
son of a bitch.
man's surprise. It's funny to see, like it's a foot away from him, and he still has no idea.
If you pause it right, he's like his legs are being taken out from under him, and he's going back, and he still has no idea.
He hasn't processed this.
His mind hasn't
At
quite
what point
caught up
do you
yet.
process that? Right?
Probably halfway through the air, like. Watch if you pause it at the right time, like,
Oh shit!
like
Right about there, it's starting to occur. Like something's amiss.
Wait. Have I
Something's
shot?
amiss.
That something's not right here.
Gravity ain't working right.
Who took the bottom out from under me? Look at him. There's absolutely no idea. He's at impact.
No, it's not like he turns around. It's not like he hears the car coming and turns around. He's just walking, man.
Yeah. Look at that gun. Does the gun go flying, by the way? Because he's got the gun in his
He
hand.
doesn't have any earphones, like earbuds in or something. Couldn't you'd think you'd hear a
Right.
car coming.
He doesn't think in a million years that some cop is going to run his ass over from
but
behind.
wasn't he just walking
He just
around
didn't see
like,
that play coming. That's why it was such
he
a brilliant
didn't.
play.
And the cop got there so quick.
Yeah.
He might have heard it and might have been thinking, I'm about to turn around and look at this.
This
Great
picture,
boss.
doesn't it look like if you put a guitar in his hand,
He's rocking out.
doesn't he look like he's on stage just
Yes.
making rock face like, hell yeah.
He's rocking out.
I needed a still picture of that. I need to draw a guitar in his hand. Put him on
Awesome.
stage. Police Chief Terry Rosema has since spoken out to defend his officer and argue that deadly force was necessary. He was asked if Michael Rapico, the officer, was fortunate not to kill Mario Valencia. He said, yeah, that very well may be. That it's luck that he's still alive. The fact of the matter remains, though, deadly force was authorized. So if he ends up dying in that situation, well, then he ends up dying. I love that line. If it happens, it happens. What are you going to do? But that's not the desire of everybody. No. I mean, that's
For the record.
Yeah, it's not what we want to happen, but it would have been great if it would have. But, not what we not ideal. He argued that Rapica may actually have saved Valencia's life with that move because we don't know what he would have done next. We don't know if he lets him go another 10 seconds, if he doesn't take somebody out in that parking lot, and then we're answering some completely different questions, which nobody wants to talk about. Totally true. Imagine if you let that keep going and he keeps walking and all of a sudden he opens fire on people. Because hindsight, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback this shit, right? But he's saying, imagine if he walks to 10 more feet and opens fire on cops, on people, into the office building.
I mean, he could have harmed himself. He could have killed himself. This was
which would have been the ultimate best play. That would have been the ideal
so
scenario.
we couldn't count on that.
Yeah.
It's like we're waiting, not happening. He's holding the gun to his chin. Okay, dude, come on.
Let's do this.
All right, it looks like this guy might not do this.
Yeah.
I better take him out.
Yeah. It's the only play that was left. He says, if we would have let him go, you're answering some completely different questions. Why didn't you act sooner? This guy had a gun. Why didn't you stop this guy before he shot my wife, before he shot my husband, before he shot my child? So he's been cleared by the prosecutor's office. He took a 3-day paid vacation.
Awesome.
Back on the force.
Good man.
Great news out of Arizona today.
Produced one of the greatest police videos ever.
Oh, yeah. My favorite. Now, speaking of people getting cleared from prosecution, our boy that was
our boy in Iowa.
Yeah, the guy,
husband.
Yes, an Iowa politician was accused of abusing his wife by having sex with her when she no longer had the capacity to consent because of her dementia. He's been cleared of all wrongdoing.
Interesting.
Did they side with the nod?
No,
or busting a last nut.
They couldn't establish the panus in the vagine with certainty, so they were just able to just sweeperoo it because they couldn't say.
Gotcha.
Like
but they found a bunch of old man semen on the sheets, though, didn't they?
Oh fuck yeah, they did.
So
So
they
he
couldn't
fucked her.
establish it was from then or sometime before.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have been able to, like, someone walked in and like literally grabbed him by the hips and pulled him out of her.
Old man.
Then maybe.
I don't
but
think it would have made that noise, to be honest. How old was she?
I don't know. She was
Probably just would have went.
More disgusting to me is you saying the old man's semen around the blanket.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Was that more disgusting than?
yeah, to me it is. Just
I don't
about
think there'd be much moisture down there. I mean, you're talking about.
the boiling over. I'm thinking about the boiling over.
I think it
of
would have
this
been more
man.
scratchy than that.
Yeah.
gross.
Sounds like sandpaper.
Yeah, you might be right, dude.
God, gross. God, stop it.
Mr. Rayhorn, or Rayhan, Henry Rayhan, who's 78, was accused of having
For
sex
Hank.
with his wife.
For Hank.
Yeah, Hank. Hank was accused of banging Donna Lou Rayhan at her nursing home, despite being told her dementia and Alzheimer's meant she no longer had the capacity to decide for herself. So people had to tell him beforehand, like, by the way, will you please not go in and fuck her because she doesn't have the ability
Damn
to
it.
say no.
Damn it.
Mr. Rayhan argued that on the night in question, he and his wife had been affectionate, but that they did not actually bang. Yeah. Jurors acquitted the lawmaker.
Check him out.
I know. Look at that son of a bitch.
Oh man, poor guy. He's just like,
I was just trying to get it.
it's my
Trying to
wife.
get that last nut and shit.
I know, right? He's got a, yeah.
They acquitted him following a trial after the court heard that medical tests could not conclusively prove that Ms. Rayhan had recently had sex, and the allegations were made by another patient in a bed nearby and who was unsure whether they had intercourse or not. Speaking after the verdict, he said, the truth finally comes out. He was crying. Donna's love for me never changed from that day when we got married to the day she passed away. The case highlights the issues around consent when one person in a couple is diagnosed with dementia. Defense attorneys argued the guilty verdict could create fear of any contact between couples, while prosecutors say finding him not guilty could put future dementia patients at risk. Mrs. Rayhan was moved to a nursing home last year following instructions from her daughter from a previous marriage. The clashes over her care built until a meeting in May, during which Hank was informed of his wife's inability to consent. So they had a meeting. They had a little meeting.
Look,
with
Hank,
I know you want to fuck her. I get it.
it's too far gone, Hank. There's no
Well,
way
what's
you
he
can get the
supposed to
knot at this
do?
point. There's no way.
You have to stop.
What's he supposed to
Go to
do?
prostitutes,
He's supposed
I
to
guess.
not rape the,
I know, but-
incapacitated lady laying in the bed.
But it's like
in the
he's-
Craftmatic.
He still wants to get it on. He's old. He's married. He believes in traditional values. Jay, he doesn't want to go outside of the marriage.
I guess he goes home and cranks it then.
Oh,
Wow,
I
that
mean,
doesn't sound as fun.
you know what? To be honest,
Do you want to go home and crank it?
No.
You want to go to your closet?
Yeah.
So does Hank or Henry or whatever his name was.
Hank.
Whatever.
He's alleged to have so he goes into his wife's room about a week later after this meeting where they're like, look, Hank, listen, she's not there anymore. You can't continue to just go in and fuck her. Okay. You need to stop because she can't say yes to this.
There she is.
She's a looker. I know you want to nail her, but look.
Listen.
So a week later, he goes into her room and he pulled the curtain around her bed, and the roommate alluded to the couple having sex behind the curtain, but that she never explicitly told them they were having sex. So he didn't say, oh my God, I'm fucking her.
Right.
So the roommate revealed that she was unsure whether the noises she heard that day were sexual in nature, but they made her very uncomfortable. Sound like two pieces of sandpaper rubbing against each other.
Dude, is this
Sounded very irritating.
is this both of them?
You know the sound you hear when you got chalk on a chalkboard? That really odd, ear-piercing screech. It was kind of like that mixed with some sandpaper. That's what it
God.
sounded like.
Yes, E, that's both of them. What do you mean? Is that both of them?
Why don't
No, they just put a random old bag. That's a Getty image of an old person.
That's the guy then dressed up as a girl. What do you mean, dude?
I'm just I know it's his wife and everything, but
What?
I'd go the paid route or find someone else.
she's
Honestly,
not-
I was thinking she's not bad for 85 or whatever she is.
No.
Honestly,
no, I know.
seen a lot worse.
Still, you're right. I agree with you, but
Hey,
still.
interestingly, Sarah writes in, remember when I declared that you can rape anyone? In other words, you cannot lawfully have sex with somebody who can't consent.
Mm.
Remember when I
I remember
I
you-
heard,
and you guys,
I heard it a different
you,
way.
you guys presented a different argument.
Mm.
Well, Sarah says, just an FYI, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 2907.02, you cannot rape your wife. In other words, if you physically rape your spouse, you cannot be charged with rape unless you are living separate. The statute reads, no person shall engage in sexual conduct, Congress as it was,
Yeah.
with another who is not the spouse of the offender or who is the spouse of the offender but is living separate and apart from the offender when any of the following applies. And then it lists. So kind of interesting that you can go ahead and just
This is great
bang.
news.
I mean,
Where?
anybody
From where?
Ohio. Our neighbors to the south.
Shock.
Sounds like we need to start moving to Ohio. Anybody married?
Go do anything
Have
you
at
want
it.
to your spouse.
Right. Have at it in Ohio.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying you own that person.
Yeah, essentially.
This
That
is
shit's
great
mine.
news.
That
I
shit's
wonder
mine.
if that's like a law that's one of those old ones that they don't really hold up anymore, though.
Like
or is
you
it
can't
something
park
that's
your donkey.
right on Sundays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wonder if that really would hold up or not. I just want, I don't know.
I wonder when that statute was last amended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
2015, January.
It was really done just under the year.
Just a week ago, they just
Right.
did that. But
Like,
that
just
new thing on the books.
reiterate that. Just to reiterate, you do own your wife after
Reiterate,
marriage.
that
Listen,
shit
ladies.
is yours.
That is yours.
Yeah, and guys we know can't be raped. You can't rape the willing. So
Yeah,
That
it's
is-
impossible.
That is the most ridiculous situation ever.
Well, moreover, even if you weren't willing, it's like, oh, whatever. Just
I mean, the odds. Like, could you imagine some guy wakes up and he's getting blown by his girl? Like, get out of here! What are you doing?
My
I got
Gadzooks!
consent. I'm going to the law. Going to my local law enforcement to
pressing
report
charges.
pressing charges.
Can you imagine the cops taking that story down?
Like, whoa, hold
then,
on,
then
man.
what
Hold on.
happened? Fine, officer. We'll go through this again. Yeah, slow it down this time. Slow it down. Easy. No, now you're laying there. You're nude. You're in boxers. You're nude. I was nude. I was laying in bed and I woke up and she was just going up and down on it, up and down on it. And I was horrified. I didn't consent to this. I didn't give her the nod.
Yeah, that
We'll
wouldn't
get
happen.
right on this.
It's amazing. Would never ever happen.
It's a weird. Obviously, it's a thing because it's getting hard. Like you're hard, so you're excited sexually, right? Like have at it in Ohio. Nice.
So they did an exam on her. And that seems more violating than the sex with
They
your
got the
husband.
speculums out.
They got the speculums. They did a bunch of swabbing in there. They went through the cave. They found some webs, and then they were like going, I don't know. This thing's so irritated. We don't know what's going on in here, but I can't say for sure that anything untoward went on here. But they did find his nut all over the blankets
Oh,
and on a
my
quilt.
God.
This guy's cleanup was
How does-
worthless.
How does he have? You know, usually, obviously, we're familiar with the boilovers and whatnot, or the dust at that age. This guy has actually got like some big, it's like a J over there, freaking with a healthy.
Prostate. He's been doing his
Right.
prostate. He's been doing
He does
500 a
Kegels,
day.
yeah.
Hey Jay, are you?
Kegel
Have you
exercise.
No, I committed to it, and
He's doing it right
Damn
now.
Just did it.
It was just,
Just did it again.
it was
Did
just
it
the
again.
funniest when you said it because you're like, I'm going to commit to 500 a day.
I am. I'm still committed. All right, I'm gonna do them. Just keep reminding me, dude. I just got to get in the habit.
Keep reminding you.
Yeah,
Start
just
calling you.
I'm going to
Yeah.
start texting you daily about
maybe
your
I should
Kegel.
sign up for the app.
There you go. Do your
Um,
reminders.
Security camera footage from the night of the incident showed Hank
12,
going into the
13, 14, 15,
1,
16,
3.
17, 18.
Oh man, you better watch out, Jay. If you were to have Congress tonight, you'd be shooting it out over everywhere in the ceiling.
Take an eye out.
If, of course, before you ask for permission, obviously.
So this camera footage shows Hank going into his wife's room, staying there for about half an hour, and depositing something into the laundry cart on the way out.
Oh, Hank. you
Yeah.
dirty bastard.
So she died in August last year. Her husband was arrested shortly after the funeral. One thing that is very sad, this case makes clear, is that care facilities. Wait, this is the daughter talking to one of the papers said, one thing this very sad case makes clear is that care facilities, healthcare providers, families, and patients need to have clear policies and guidelines to protect vulnerable patients and provide patient sexual autonomy when appropriate. So I'm thinking, can we do some sort of life consents? Can you get some sort of form? I mean, could you get a contract together with Gab, say, that just gives you lifetime consent for either one of you guys? Could you sign into an agreement
I guess, man.
so that if anything happens to you, she can still go use you for whatever? And
Yeah, I mean, you can sign shit that gives people power over you after you become incapacitated. Why not, Mike?
I
This is
want
great.
lifetime consent forms.
Glad this
Drawn
case came to our attention.
Can you do that with girlfriends? I'd like to get something on the books if we could. Some
I don't
sort of
think it's-
lifetime consent.
I think you're gonna have to probably be married at least. I don't think because what if you when you I mean
I think society would frown on that. Just-
God forbid you were to break up, and then you have this form. What are you gonna go back later? A year later, she's with another dude,
Knocking on the door.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, I've got my paperwork right here. Lifetime consent signed Beth right there. I believe you have something that belongs to me.
What a ridiculous thought, man. The idea that you're still trying to climb aboard this thing when she's incapacitated. She's got dementia that bad, and Hank is just climbing aboard.
Well, Gab should have
Because
thought of
he
that
loves his
before
wife, Jay?
she was bound by this lifetime consent that she's given you.
Jay, what's wrong with being so sexually attracted to his wife? It's a romance story, Jay.
Yeah,
It's a
put
love
some
story.
soft music under it. This is a
Right.
beautiful story.
She's just laying in that bed, incapacitated, and just the old man just hopping on her, just going
dude, down.
Just
Now, was that Sarah? You said
Do you
that
think they do it
using the
missionary?
well,
Or you think
well,
he's
it
got her
gotta be,
doggy? You
it
think he's
gotta
got her
be,
doggy?
No, because
He's got her doggy,
No,
doesn't
he
he?
doesn't.
That son of a bitch, Hank.
no way, Jay. She's just
He's got her doggy,
No,
dude.
reverse cowgirl.
That's nuts. You guys are being stupid and ridiculous. She's lying on the bed just like this.
Dude, you can do all sorts of shit with the
You-
freaking Craftmatic.
right, but do you think
Get the
Hank's-
legs up. Oh, I think Hank is more nimble than what you're
He's
guessing here.
picking that body up, that dead weight up, and pounding it.
And who knows? Now that she wasn't able to say anything or go against this, maybe they swabbed the wrong hole.
Well, and by the way, why is he?
Maybe they could have found all the evidence they needed if they just would have backed it up a
Swabbed
couple
the-
inches.
Well,
Swabbed hole number 2.
well, wait a minute. The other thing is, by the way, Hank.
Jeez.
Why is?
She's leaking out like there's a gas leak from the back end, but they're just checking the front hole. They missed it completely. Shoddy police work is what did it. But poor Mrs. Rayhorn.
I have another question though for Hank though. Why is he? Why is
Terrible.
there?
I apologize for that last comment.
Why is there semen on
It's
the
over
bed
like-
anyway? Why is he not? Why is he pulling out?
He doesn't want to get her pregnant.
Unwanted pregnancy? Are you
kidding me?
kidding me? That's responsible.
No, it's
He's
stupid.
looking ahead. He's a month away from being a single parent.
My
He doesn't want
God,
to do that to this
Isn't-
child.
isn't
Grow
she
up
a
That's a dumb
motherless.
question. Don't
Terrible.
throw shit like that out there. You know, it's something productive to add. Don't add it.
Could you imagine though if you did get a lifetime consent and then all of a sudden you knock it up?
Oh God,
Because it's still technically it's a live vessel.
cannot
dude,
have
she's
a ba-
fucking. She's
She's a-
barren, dude.
Yeah, she's a.
Her womb is barren.
That's,
Miracles happen. There was a story about some 70-year-old that just gave birth.
it's not going to
Um,
happen here.
What do you mean?
It's not going to happen here.
You can say that
No,
with
not
certainty.
here.
Yes, I'm very
Well, she's
certain that
dead
Hank,
now, so yeah.
Well, definitely not going to happen.
Well, and we know he pulled out, thankfully.
Why is he pulling out?
I don't know.
Not just at that point. Just
He probably couldn't wait to get out of that sandpapery hole.
Well, plus he knows gravity exists, and that what shoots in is coming back out at some point.
Maybe he didn't pull out, and it's just kind of.
Ugh.
oh, Jesus.
Honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, can't be very taut.
the quilt over there and the blanket here on her sheets. He's soiled her sheets and her. Oh man, bad story. But anyway, he's been acquitted of
Free
all.
man.
Free man. Yeah, he did no wrong. He was tearful. The truth came out. Now, interesting because of what you just said about Sarah's note about not being able to rape your wife.
Yeah.
That could come into play here. We've got a teacher. Oh, I'm sorry. This is international. It was in New Mexico.
Oh well, yeah. U.S.
So-
law doesn't apply.
Yeah, I don't know what the law books are like in a country like New Mexico, but a teacher was suspended and he's on paid leave, which is the good news, on Monday after he allegedly told his 11-year-old students that he raped his first wife.
What?
Yeah,
Kids, I got to mention this. Got to get this off my
it's
chest.
been on my mind for
the
years.
fuck does that come up?
Right.
To 11-year-olds.
I know.
The teacher was teaching the fifth grade class at Hawthorne Elementary in Albuquerque, New Mexico, when he made the chilling remark about a week ago. Some students were so distressed by what they heard, they immediately went to the school office to report the teacher.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Your teacher just like, by the way, I raped my wife. Like, wouldn't you?
He's writing it on the chalkboard, RAPE.
How did that come up?
I can't even imagine.
Wait, does it say what kind of teacher?
This needs to
he
go
is?
to the Astronome file because it would be nice to understand the context of that.
Well, at one point, he subbed for a special ed class, so maybe he thought, but I don't know what he was teaching here. He He worked at a couple middle schools. He was a math and science teacher, it sounds like.
Well,
that one of the mothers, Marjorie Brooks, whose son was in the class, said she was horrified by what the teacher told the students and felt the school waited too long to deal with the problem. So is this one of those where there was so much noise that they finally had to react to it?
I guess we're going to have to deal with this guy raping his wife.
It's very serious. We're going to look into everything. And he's on suspension. Of course, he's paid in full. The minute that allegation was made by these kids, I would have done something about it. And they've got an internal investigation is underway.
But what's that investigation going to be? He said it.
Yeah.
So is the investigation about the rape?
Does he admit it? I don't know.
I don't know, but it was his wife. If he was in Ohio, this would be a non-story.
They just have to tell the kids to deal with it. It can happen.
Well, you get your passport, you get to the U.S., right? Don't stick around in New Mexico and those third world countries.
Yeah.
Hey, DetroitCast listeners, do I have some great news for you? Right now, you can lease a new 2015 Taurus SHO for just $293 for 24 months. If you're not familiar with the Taurus SHO, let me share a couple little details with you. She has a 365 horsepower twin turbo EcoBoost V6 engine, all-wheel drive, pimped out leather interior, fat 20-inch aluminum wheels, and all this with wicked style, fuel economy, and roomy interior. So if you aren't already jumping into your crap-ass dull ride to head to Zot Ford and Holly, I suggest you do it soon, because leasing a $47,000 Taurus SHO for just $293 per month won't last long. Hurry down, because this deal is only while supplies last. Zot Ford is in Holly. Get there.
How do you guys, when you come here, what direction do you come from?
From the north.
Both of you guys come down to, how do you come?
696.
Yeah. You
So
come down
west,
Telegraph.
Yeah.
We've got an incident here right down the street, actually, in Bloomfield Township. We got around 15 in Telegraph. So a couple miles up the road.
Sure.
A mile up the road. So right here in the neighborhood. We've got someone who was exposing themselves while driving.
Look at my dick! Look at my dick!
Totally. The victim told police she was driving southbound on Telegraph near Maple when the man kept trying to get her attention with sexual gestures.
Shut up, Jay.
The woman
Shut up, Jay.
The woman was able to take photos of the suspect. The suspect is
Thank God she did.
As a white male between the ages of 25 and 35, brown hair and wearing glasses.
Beady, soulless eyes.
Shut up.
Almost shark-like.
That's weird. I don't know. I feel like I've seen that guy before. It's
strange, isn't it?
I mean, a good part of me, because if you have any information that could help in the case, you're asked to call the Bloomfield Township Police.
Normcore glasses, shit glasses. Sort of a half scruffy, half beard, sorta, kinda.
God, if you can think where we can place this guy,
man.
I mean, it's right there. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think like who that son of a bitch is. But
God, those eyes are beady.
Yeah, those are dark, soulless eyes. Very, very beady. And those glasses. I mean, I can't. Well, yeah, very, very normcore.
Yeah, you usually see chicks wearing those. But boy, I feel like I've seen them on a guy.
Yeah, in this area too. I don't know. I can't place it.
Almost Lyle Lovett-ish
hair. Yeah,
hair.
Kind of that curly, poofy on top hair. Yeah. It's very, very
kind of
strange.
A greasy plume.
Yeah, it looks like he'd be stinksing.
Yeah.
Looks like he'd talk like this too. Doesn't it sound like he'd sound like this? Hey, lady in the car next to me. Look at my dick. Look at my dick. Look at my dick. Sounds like he'd sound like that, doesn't he? He looks like someone, doesn't he?
What do you think, E?
No comment.
What is that? Is he wearing a Blink 182 t-shirt?
Shut up, dude.
I can't tell if that's a Red Wings jersey or a Blink 182 t-shirt. That's weird.
Actually
Lakeland 2002.
3 track and running.
Last place
state finals. Yeah.
Second to last. I actually looked at my glasses to make sure those weren't my glasses.
What, you've only got one pair of glasses? Apparently not.
That is remarkably close.
Yeah.
Dude,
I really honestly almost feel we need to call at least.
In this picture.
I don't want to bother the police, but I do feel like, any and all leads should be investigated, right? I feel like,
dude, in this picture, he looks just like me. I hate to say it, but like he does.
Can you saddle up? Can you make that picture bigger, K-Dog?
He looks just like me, dude.
Saddle up next to me.
Saddle up next to me. Let's see if we can't get a picture of it.
To send this to the authorities. Have the crime lab look at this. Yeah, that's remarkable.
Still can't place it. If I think of it,
Dude, he could be my twin.
Anyway, we'll why don't we take a break and we'll consider it in the break. Maybe we should call the police department. I don't know. I swear I've seen that cat around here somewhere. And then we'll get to some people with Jay's favorite palsy,
Cerebral.
Yep. They've done a Reddit conversation and things they don't like that average people say. So a bunch of guys with palsy jumped into this talk and
like things where people are thinking they're helpful.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got a brain tumor to discuss as well. Nothing to do with the palsy,
right?
But totally separate thing.
Sort of a brain tumor.
Yeah, we'll deal with that next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Cerebral.
Hey there, Detroit Cast listeners. It's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zot Ford in Holly. It's April, and you know what that means. Spring cleaning. We have too many F-150s, and they got to go. Right now, get over $14,000 off a brand new 2014 F-150 Super Crew XLT 4x4. So, while supplies last, get an F-150 that stickers for almost $49,000 for just over $34,000. Do the math, because we all know Big E can't. That's over 30% off a brand new F-150 at Zot Ford. Friends, hurry in. With a sale like this, our supplies won't last long. Check out our incredible deals and our massive inventory at zotford.com. That's SZOTT.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroitcast on a Friday with Mike and Jay. And I got a story here, Jay, that I think you'll like.
What do we got?
We got a woman. It's a good start, right?
Sure.
We like women.
Generally,
I'm a big fan of the women. I got to be honest with you. And something was wrong, they say, with Yumini Karanum.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's Japanese. She was a PhD student. She'd moved from India to Indianapolis.
Oh shit.
Yeah, apologize for that last racist drop. Anyway, to study computer science. Once a brilliant student, she now had trouble understanding simple articles. Friends and colleagues would say things to her only for the sentence to get mixed up in her mind, because that's where her problems lay, deep within her brain. She went on a little vacation, returned even more exhausted. Well, I think that's commonplace, right? You on vacation, you need a vacation from
Right.
that.
Yeah, need a vacation from your vacation.
Hey, right? There she is. She slept for 2 weeks straight, missing school. Then came the headaches. She went to doctor after doctor. Finally came the revelation. Doctors spotted what they thought was a cyst in the center of her brain.
Oh no.
Yeah, she grew sicker and sicker as the tumor grew larger and larger. Reading was impossible. Soon walking was too. She's 26 years. At this point, she could barely eat. Looks like she doesn't have any trouble eating.
Yeah, maybe she could use that might be a good thing.
I wouldn't have thought that was her problem either, but
Not that she's it just doesn't look like she's starving.
just hasn't missed a meal.
Yeah. She found a doctor who performed a radical keyhole brain surgery
Whoa.
in Los Angeles. Her friends had raised money. They did a Kickstarter for, and they raised $32,000. And so she used that 32 grand and she flew out to LA and put her life in this doctor's hands. So he makes a tiny incision in the back of her head. That's when they made the discovery.
Oh no.
Her tumor wasn't just a tumor. It was a teratoma,
Ah,
a clump of bone, hair, and teeth.
damn it. Oh, it's a twin brother.
Yep. It was a twin, a Frankenstein's monster within her own head.
Ah.
Teratomas have baffled scientists for almost 100 years. Some of it speculated that they are basically twins that never quite developed.
Dude, I harken back to That's Incredible episode. I've talked about it before. It's stuck with me since then, man.
The teeth and hair growing
Dude,
out of
not so much that, but I distinctly remember That's Incredible episode where a dude had the headaches and all that shit. They did all the tests and they found a freaking undeveloped fetus in his head. Twin brother. God damn it.
Hey, his brother was be
Stuck in his head.
They said it was they didn't think it quite developed, and instead it absorbed into the surviving baby's body. Newborns occasionally have large teratomas attached to them like a conjoined twin. Other times it's not until adulthood that people realize they have one. So we could have one of these pop up someday.
I reckon.
Beth gets headaches. Well, she did. She used to get headaches all the time.
Dude, that's scary shit. The human body is crazy.
Yeah. Hair and
And
teeth.
teeth.
And bone. Do not Google image search teratoma.
Don't do it.
Don't. That's an order. Is that an order?
Don't do it.
Don't do
Oh shit.
I don't want to see him. Forget it. It's not in 2009, a British man named Gavin Hyatt gave birth to an undeveloped identical twin when a small lump pushed
Gave
its way
birth.
out of his abdomen.
Ah,
Yep.
it's like Alien.
He named him Little Gav.
Oh, it's just,
Ah, son of a bitch. He's adorable.
little poos.
Look at little poos. How you doing, little buddy? Look at this little Gav. Say hi.
As he tosses him in a trash can.
Hell yeah. Welcome to your new home, little Gav. You live here now.
Dumpster.
It's not clear whether her tumor was really her twin, but it was killing her. Son of a bitch. Trying to take her out from the inside.
Wow,
twin.
it's an inside job.
Evil twin. Wow. They successfully removed the tumor, which was not cancerous. He now expects her to make a full recovery.
So is that an abortion?
What?
Is that an abortion?
Yeah, I would think that would count, right? I mean, we know how anti-abortion you are,
It's
Jay.
not even clear that the thing was any sort of human.
Hair, teeth, bone.
I mean, yeah,
Human.
Looks like a duck and walks like a duck, Jay.
God, is that an abortion you're okay with if it's killing you from the inside?
Dude, it's not even a friggin' life form.
Well,
It's growing teeth and hair.
It doesn't have a
bones.
heartbeat.
Yeah, it's called her.
yeah, she's sharing it. They're sharing it.
Okay.
No, you're right. I don't know. Crazy.
Personally, I would abort the teratoma.
Don't Google it. Do not Google it.
When she woke in the hospital, she was stunned to learn that the tumor was not just a lump of cells, but her evil twin sister, who's been torturing her for 26 years. Son of a bitch.
Jealous since day one.
This idea that it can grow teeth, dude. Teeth. And I remember that too, man. I this is a different episode of something, but
That's incredible. I remember some guy had
I
a
don't-
giant tumor and it had teeth in it and
okay,
hair.
I remember a show like that where they disclose that, but I don't remember it being that's incredible. But dude, this idea, teeth and hair. Why teeth and hair?
I don't know. Some science nerd could tell us, but
Fuck.
yeah.
You know, it's just a gloopy ass thing. It's not even like a being. It's just junk. Why
Yeah.
teeth and hair?
And bone. I don't know. That's a good question. Does anyone? I don't know. Someone should be able to tell us that.
Just seems random that teeth and hair would be the two things.
Yeah.
Why not fingers and
You got to give it
eyelids?
time. You got to give it time.
Yeah.
If you would have let it go a little,
percolate.
yeah. Eventually, you'd get a leg and a knee and a noose or a vagine or something. But you start with what you start with, which is teeth and bone and hair. Oh, gross. And then we got I mentioned that Reddit that
The disabled people wrote.
yeah, and they got like 4,000 responses immediately from people. And so they've talked about what the most irritating parts of being with the palsy. And some of the things that these guys said, these members of the disabled community listed all the ways able-bodied people think they're being supportive, but end up being just the opposite.
Okay.
Don't call me an inspiration, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God, you are such an inspiration to me. The way you get around on your Amigo.
Be your own damn inspiration. Ooh. That's what one user wrote. I don't want to be your inspiration. I want to be your next door neighbor, and I want to be left to my own devices, please.
The way you traverse the sidewalk on that Amigo.
But you don't tell me how brave or strong I am. I'm pretty sure I didn't say, hey, universe, make me handicapped. There's nothing brave or strong about it. I exist. My strength and courage comes from what I do, not what I am.
Okay.
Yeah, take that, Jane. Knock it off. Another user said, if anything, I haven't been brave, just careless for being in a place that I really shouldn't have been in all the time.
Yeah, I don't say these things. I've never said these things to disabled people. I just don't talk to them.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So, well, you and I haven't offended them.
Well, ever since I got friggin' taken down from behind by No Saj
Yeah,
Negatnar,
your ankles,
that
both
little
of us.
son of a bitch.
I've got ankle injuries to this day.
My Achilles are, whenever it rains, they get sore.
Others said it was insulting
Your
and
Achilles. Isn't that like a joints thing? That's
It's
not
a tendon, you son of a bitch.
I don't know what I'm saying. When I hear people that say it rains, I usually
Broken
hear
bone. Yeah, I know. I was just throwing that out there.
Oh, okay. Seemed a little
Making light of it.
others said it was insulting and patronizing to be praised for doing normal things like going to college.
Could see
Guys
that.
sound
yeah.
pissed. They sound angry. Don't
Yeah.
do this. Don't say that. Don't call me this. Fuck you. They seem very, very angry. As a
Yeah,
group.
but if your mind is fine and it's just your body that's not cooperating,
Mhm.
wouldn't it be very patronizing and condescending to have people like, "Oh my God, you went to college"?
It's like deaf
Fuck.
people.
Yeah, dude, I went to college. So what?
It's like deaf people when you slow it down for them. What I'm trying to say is, and they're like, fucking asshole, I'm not retarded.
Right.
I just can't hear you. Others, they said, so what am I supposed to do? Sit on my ass all day and wait to die?
It's kind of what you. I mean, it's working for you too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, don't even put me in with Mike, dude. Like, no
Don't
offense,
put
dude.
him in with Walters. Don't
Like,
do that.
I think I do a pretty decent job of doing stuff with the freaking very limited financials I have, dude. At least once a week, I'm out of the house doing so. At least once a week.
I was out of the house today.
Yeah, but that argument starts with the idea that you have limited financials. And why is that? Because you fucking decided to sit on your laurels since middle school. That's
get it.
why.
I get it, but
Okay.
don't even put me in the same.
No, therefore I can.
No, you cannot.
And he did successfully. He just did.
You
That's
son of a bitch.
insane to make that
Own it,
analogy.
E.
No, I will not own
Own
that.
it.
No, I will not.
Life choices put you where you are.
They sure did, but you know what? I still do quite a bit with the stuff I have compared to my man over here.
I don't know. Mike was downtown today.
I was.
I was
Um,
okay. What
I
did
was
I
at
do
Shelley's
last week?
Professional
Chili,
sporting
was at the
event?
Tigers
Did I do
game.
something last week? Oh, I went with you to that. I guess you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike
I was there too.
too.
Yeah.
Mm.
In the last
Crazy.
month, I've. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not
what
gonna go
else?
I
over-
paid for your entrance too, so you didn't cost you. It didn't
Oh,
cost you
wow, wow.
financially.
So
Bought you
what
beers
have
as
you
well,
done
E.
in
I
the
went to
last week?
Seeger. I went to Vegas
Oh,
last
your dad.
week.
Your dad took you to Seeger.
No,
We
no,
paid
no,
for
no,
Vegas.
no. I'm talking about, but I get out of the house and I do it. I'm willing to leave the house. I enjoy doing it. I just don't have as. If I had more money, I'd do more.
I don't believe it for a second.
Okay.
He loves his lair too much.
No, I really don't actually. I like it for like a day or so.
Another
maybe.
common complaint of this group is among wheelchair users was people insisting they help and not taking no for an answer.
Okay.
So let me give you a hand with that. Let me.
No, I got this. No.
I have cerebral palsy,
Cerebral.
whatever. I love when people help me, but please always ask first. And if I say no thanks, I've got it. Then go on with your day.
Mm.
Fine. Didn't want to help all that much anyway.
Bitter guy.
Yeah.
Bitter disabled guy.
Another raised some people's tendency to take charge of their wheelchair. The situation would be similar to seeing someone who looked tired at the bottom of a hill and offering to carry them up. To most people, no matter how tired, that would be pretty damn weird and infantilizing.
Okay. Can see
Oh,
that.
fine. I was gonna carry you up the hill, but forget it. You got that shit. It's on you, bro. Perhaps the most obnoxious habit mentioned was people recommending diets, remedies, or cures.
Oh, dude.
That would be fucking infuriating.
Yeah.
Believe me, unless you are a researcher who specializes in my condition, you probably don't know more about treatments than me.
I read about this Swedish diet.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be pretty.
that would be super annoying.
It's known to cure your palsy.
Last but not least, whatever you do, don't bring religion into it. One guy said, if you tell me God does everything for a reason, I'll break your goddamn nose for a good reason. That's pretty funny. Then why don't we get rid of the signs? We could take parking spaces back.
Yeah. Right. I'd prefer to park as close to the building as I can.
I would too. Since nobody needs a hand
Yeah,
anymore.
Nobody needs a hand. Fine.
We'll just
Right. That's a
thank
good point.
you. I'll be taking these back.
Patronizing, apparently.
Yep. Insulting, if you will. So
I hope
yeah.
this guy never parks in parking spaces. That's a good point. Or handicap ones, I mean.
Yeah, that's what we were getting at.
Yeah, I know. I was just reiterating it in case anyone wanted to know.
Yeah. You have a habit of that.
I know. I don't know what else to do. I'm just sitting there.
Hey, remember the
Just click away,
click,
my
click,
man.
click.
I know it's annoying. I don't care.
You guys remember that the rock band we talked about, the Slants?
Remember the slants.
Yeah. They lost in court. Asian American rock band. Yes, the Slants.
me sorry, me no speak Chinese.
We are rock S. Yes, very, very talented.
I don't feel like Chinese tonight anyway.
Well, why- it's a band.
Yeah, but they're all Chinese, dude. They're all Asian, I should say.
I am a
That was
reed-
very,
Read vocalist.
it was very
It's funny,
insensitive.
dude. I
of me
love
to say
mu-
Chinese.
Right. I love, like, it's so weird because I love, obviously, music. But when you look at band pictures, I mean, how many more can they're all just, typical 6 guys staring hardcore.
Yeah, but dude, this is what, like, Chinese dance music. How did they term it? What's their style?
Yeah,
Chinese
Chinatown dance rock. Right?
Chinatown dance.
I know,
rock.
Who
dude.
doesn't
I'm
love
just-
some Chinatown
So
dance rock?
I mean, that goes with their genre.
I know. I'm just saying there's like 3 poses you can do. There's this, there's the overly goofy one where you're all kind of being immature. And then
What's the third?
I don't
No, what's the third? You said that distinctly. There were 3.
I know.
It's as if you had 3 in mind when you said it.
I know. but I didn't.
No, you really only had one other than this one.
Yes.
And now you're trying to fill it.
I know.
Third one. Come on.
Is that Slant on the right trying to weasel his way into the band? He's got sunglasses on. The other guys are proudly
He's at
displaying.
best Amerasian.
Yeah.
At best.
At best. Can you see through those glasses, E, and see what's going on there? Because I'm not sure he belongs in this band.
He's Caucasian.
Yeah. He might be a Mexican trying to sneak in there.
Iffy too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, E, but I think he's just squinting.
They've got
Don't squint and act like you belong in the slants.
throw a
you
little
son of a bitch.
mascara on and squint.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
I'm seeing through this. I see 3 Asians for sure and a couple that are on the fence with eyeliner and squinting going on.
This one looks almost more Mexican than Asian. to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one on the far right. I agree, man. Maybe from New Mexico,
man.
even.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some funny, but I wouldn't have given him the name either.
No.
Look at this guy trying to be fucking hard.
Do we have any music from the slants? I
One
wanna
guy
hear what
looks a
these
little
guys
bit
sound
like William Hung.
Yeah.
We want to rock.
Yeah. What's the name of this?
It's called Con Kids.
We are the Con Kids.
Yeah, because they're conning us by faking being slants.
Yeah, the kids are coming in fives. They feel alive and they're gonna start a fight. They're gunning for tonight. Yeah, the kids and they're coming in threes. Razor blades and they're coming for me. It's true.
Kind of bass heavy.
Coming here for you.
Sounds like something Joan Jett would sing.
Yeah. Does sound a little Runaways, doesn't it?
Or inspiration, mainly Joan Jett.
It's not bad. It's all right.
We pray very, very good.
I'm not sure the middle dude isn't Samoan, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like they found 2 Asian
Yeah,
guys,
this is
named the band
bullshit.
the Slants, and they're off and running. Well,
And those
they,
guys might not even be Asian. They might just be pussies. Look at them.
I think there's a lot of squinting going on in this band.
Bill Hung is the only one, I think, there.
Yeah.
To the left.
To the left, yeah. Samoan's a good call. The guy in the middle definitely looks more Samoan than. So anyway, they chose their name, they said, as a way to reclaim the term usually considered a racist slur. They cannot trademark the name because it is disparaging. And the ruling could have implications for the high-profile fight over the NFL's Washington Redskins name, should they lose, and whether or not they should lose their trademark. So this band is trying to trademark the Slants, and so it went to court over that. And they've applied for trademarks in 2010 and 2011. They were rejected both times on the ground that the name disparaged Asians. So the band appealed. Its lawyer argued the name was a healthy reappropriation of a term usually considered a slur, much like the lesbian motorcycle club Dykes on Bikes, which did get a trademark.
Really?
Yeah. The band argued that in acting as a referee of political correctness, the Patent and Trademark Office violated their First Amendment rights. Kind of agree with them.
But didn't the judge say, well, all we're saying is you can't get a trademark. We're not saying that you can't speak
use
it or use about it.
Yeah.
Use it.
The 3-judge panel of the Federal Circuit said there was evidence the term is offensive to people of Asian descent. It said that there was no free speech violation since a refusal to federally register a trademark does not prevent them from still using it.
Yeah.
Despite upholding the rejection, the Slants trademark the U.S. Circuit Judge Kimberly Moore said in a separate non-binding opinion that it might be time to revisit the federal trademark law's disparagement provisions, which she said probably would not hold up under current free speech laws. So what is she saying there? Whatever.
I don't know the latest interpretation of free speech that would have anything to do with trademarks. So
Yeah.
there must be some cases from the U.S. Supreme Court recently that would cut against that.
Yeah. Well, the Redskins getting denied to hold their trademark.
Yeah.
Like they went. How would Dykes on Bikes get through?
I don't know, man. It's funny, man, how the NFL season ends and it's like, just off into the distance. Nobody's just wait until August, September before we hear about the Redskin thing again.
Yeah. I wonder if Snyder will ever cave into that.
Yeah.
This was
Doesn't
honestly
seem like he would. He seems like he's pretty hardcore about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should. It's just
he said,
stupid.
"No way in my lifetime if I
Yeah.
own this team, never." And you can quote me on that. Will I change the name? That was his stance.
I think
couple
they
years
should
ago.
change it. And I know this is inconsistent, but I think the slants should be able to use it. I think they should be able to trademark it and just give them enough rope to hang themselves. I think it's stupid. Slants.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, you think
Yeah,
so?
who would ever know about this?
Would we know
band?
about this fucking band? Of course not. I mean,
Yeah.
the game is to get your name out there, and if you can take a name like the Slants, we would never have listened to that clip of that band.
Yeah, but are we ever going to listen to that again?
No, but that's not...
it's we knew that as soon as I said the Slants, everyone went, "Oh yeah, I remember that band." So they're definitely selling more CDs and tickets by having that name. If they were just the band, you wouldn't no one would give them a second thought. You just be like, whatever. They just fall into the mainstream with a million other bands that go nowhere. These guys at least have a name now. They've got representation and they're fighting this fight in courts. It's a smart move. We need a new name for this show. Let's come up with a racist name.
Well, that won't take you long.
What do you mean? Why? What was I thinking?
Nothing. I just feel like it wouldn't take you a whole long time to think.
What, because I'm familiar with racist terms?
Yeah.
I think there's that whole list behind you, yeah, underneath my smelling
one
salt
day.
figure.
One day we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Look at that son of a bitch.
It's like an 80-page list.
The origins of racist terms. There's a whole lot of them. And yeah, there's definitely a group or two that stand out above the rest. I will say that. I don't know if you could pick which group that might be.
Oh, it must be pretty hard.
Yeah, the whites take a beating in this.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
We'll get to it another time.
Okay.
Now, update on the story we did yesterday about the girl at Popeye's Chicken.
Yeah. Got fired because she claimed because I got robbed and I wouldn't put the money back in the till.
No,
and the company said, no, dipshit, you didn't go per policy and empty the registers so that there wasn't as much money in the registers. This guy got away with $450. That money never should have been there.
Yeah. You're supposed to dump it and put it in the safe once it hits $200.
And she's telling the sob story. Oh, I'm pregnant with my fourth kid. I make like $2 an hour.
It was 2 for $1 or 2-piece chicken nugget
for $1.19.
Yeah.
It was busy
Crazy
that day.
busy.
So her name was Marissa Holcomb. Now she's been offered her job back. And, yesterday we were hearing that she just wanted to work. She just wanted to work there,
Oh,
right?
boy, here we go.
No, it's actually not. She's not sure now. In 24 hours later, she's not sure if she wants to go back there
what?
because it's an unhealthy work environment for her and her baby.
Take that off the freaking table then. She should. The finding afterwards about the stuff about the safe and stuff. She wasn't fired because she was pregnant.
Well, no, she wasn't fired because she was robbed and wouldn't pay the money back. They said you can pay the money back. She was fired because she, for multiple times, blew off the procedure.
Right.
And then it bit him in the ass because they got robbed. And here they've been telling her, like, hey, idiot, I don't care if you're fucking 5 months pregnant. Don't leave that much money in the register.
Right. We get robbed. They must know that they're a place that maybe is.
Yeah, we're a Popeye's chicken. Of course we're going to be robbed.
Right.
We're Popeyes, for Christ's sake. You can't leave more than $5 at any time in there.
Right.
So the mother of 3 says she was held at gunpoint. We know all that. They've offered to take her back and offered to give her $2,000 in back pay since she's been out of work for almost a month now. I do need a way to support my kids, but I don't want to go back to a business where I'm treated the same and I just get pushed back out if something else happened.
Oh,
Jesus. Then don't worry.
Okay, thanks. Offers off the table.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Good luck with your 4th kid.
Right.
Ugh, 4 kids on a Popeye salary. Christ. Really?
it's grim.
She said she was fired less than 2 days after the incident. Popeye's spokesman said it wasn't the first time she'd been asked to clear the till. Here's what really happened. And you mentioned, I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, Jay. The CEO, Cheryl Backelder, released a statement Wednesday evening. They've got to get the CEO to release a statement over this bullshit story, saying head office had reached out to the owner of this small franchise and asked him to apologize and rectify the situation. So they're like, enough with the negative press with the fucking Trojan horse chick.
Yeah.
Let's do what we got to do to make this go away. How do we make this sweeperoo under the rug? Give her job back. And now she's, I don't know if I want the job. So what are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? Have you been following much about our friends in ISIS, Jay?
No.
Not much has changed. They're
Shit.
still kind of being dicks.
Yeah, destroying antiquities and
they're
killing Christians indiscriminately.
Yeah. Now they're still really hung up on the homos too.
Oh yeah, they were whipping them off roofs, right? Last time we checked in, they had beautiful blue sky.
Oh, gorgeous.
I can still picture that.
Yeah,
beautiful
gorgeous
blue sky
day.
and homos just being hurled off buildings.
And not dying either.
Right. And then they had to be stoned at the bottom.
Yeah, right. They've brutally stoned a couple gay men to death only seconds after they were photographed embracing and forgiving them. So here they are in these two pictures hugging the gay guys.
They've got, that's sort of their MO to kind of be like, oh, everything good, my brother. And then they off them, right? There was that story about like, no, you eat the soup. Eat the soup. It's delicious. Eat the soup.
Yeah, you need it.
Fucking fed this lady her son, right? A stew made of her son.
Yeah.
And then they're like, ha, 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 you ate your son. Ha, 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 you dumbass.
You ask us where your boy is. You tell us. You just ate him.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of their, evil little MO.
The images were taken in ISIS-held territory and show the two accused men being savagely executed by 4 jihadis. Huge crowds are seen in the desert clearing where the group of executioners made a display of hugging the blindfolded couple and telling them they were forgiven for their sins before pummeling them to death with hundreds of fist-sized rocks. The fuck, man? And you see these guys laying on the ground with all these assholes chucking rocks at them. Can you think of a worse way to go than being stoned to death?
Shark.
A shark? No,
You'd
dude.
bet a shark.
No.
Buried alive?
Buried alive would suck. Yeah. Images emerged on social media just today and were hurriedly shared online by ISIS sympathizers who claim the photos reveal the terrorists' compassionate side. Yeah, because they're hugging them.
Fuckers.
No, it's time to stone you to death. The act appears to be genuine. There's nothing to suggest the victims mistakenly thought they'd been pardoned. Their remarkably calm demeanor is instead likely to have been due to the men having been given a cocktail of meds. They do that for anxiety.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. But they thought that pilot, the Jordanian pilot,
the one that they burned alive?
Yeah. Yep. That he was given some cocktail of meds. Yeah. The final image shows the two victims' battered bodies on the ground as a group of at least 4 executioners stand over them, raining down rocks.
Stone Age, man.
Totally. No pun intended. And a couple other things to get to. And this was out of the country. Britain is where this story came up, but I imagine it would be the same here. We've got travelers who share holiday selfies, right? Everybody does that. I sent the picture of Beth and I at the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
Smug airport posts. No offense to anyone smug. Checking on venues on Facebook. These people that do this could see their insurance claims voided if their homes are burgled while they're away.
Awesome. It's always perplexed me why people do that.
Yeah. Kind of letting people, because you know why? Because it's new territory. This is new ground, like this whole social media world where everybody's posting everything they're doing.
I think it's less new territory, and it's just like such a dominant part of people's lives now.
Yeah. But if you have a few incidents happen, all of a sudden people will get wise about that. Yeah. It's kind of what I mean,
Yeah.
Britons have been warned posting photos of their trip or mentioning the dates on social media run the risk of helping would-be thieves identify and target their homes. Duh. But break-in insurance claims could be thrown out if people look as though they're helping criminals, such as posting photos of themselves on sun loungers or bragging it's day one of a 2-week trip. somewhere. They said that insurers check Facebook and Twitter accounts before paying out.
Wow. Yeah, it's like, oh, only 2 more days in paradise.
Yeah.
You know, and would-be robbers, and they're going, okay, we got 48 hours to clear them out.
So this is because an insurer might think people have not taken enough reasonable care to guard against theft by making such information public. It's possible that your insurance cover could be affected if you explicitly announce your plans on social media. They go on to say you wouldn't put a poster up on your front lawn saying you're going on vacation.
Interesting.
So think very carefully about what you post. That would be impossible, though, to like take off for a week. That would almost be a giveaway in and of itself. If all of a sudden your Twitter account goes dark for a week.
You can say shit, just don't.
Hey, look at me. But it gives your GPS coordinates. You know, like what I mean, it tells you you'd have to go in and shut off certain notifications because
you have that on, like where you walk into a certain place and it grabs you. Hey, Mike Walters is because I was going to say phone. I've never seen that, but of course you aren't usually at places.
Right. Thank you for that. When I was in Arizona, and I got a new. That's when I got my new phone. Was when I was out there, and it automatically was set. It like knew exactly where I was, what city I was in when I was taking a picture of Big E's Steakhouse.
Like but you can flip that shit off, right?
Right, but I'm just saying
on Facebook?
You can, but even then, I mean,
I'm just saying it automatically does that for you. You'd have to go in and shut it off.
But what are you going to do anyway? You're going to take pictures that it doesn't say where you are. Everyone's going to know.
How about you just refrain from posting dumb shit for a week? Watch me, dude. Watch me.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'm sure. I get it, but I don't think most people would just think like that. Most people don't get robbed, so most people don't think. And if you did have an unfortunate thing like that, most people wouldn't think that your insurance company is going to go through your Twitter account
that's kind of awesome
and not
by the insurance
pay out.
companies.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's totally valid.
I fucking hate you so much, Jay.
Yeah, that is kind of
ridiculous. I fucking hate you. I get that you even
You're
agree
always
with
for
it,
the little guy.
No, I get that you even if you're saying that you agree with it, but the idea that you literally enjoy it, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you're still the victim of an assault just by going out of town.
They may not.
Yeah, but you arguably helped that assault happen. So why is it just the deep-pocketed insurer who must pay every time?
Because they're
when you're partly at fault.
No,
what? You
did not help.
No, you didn't. I think that's what the argument is that you
it could
did,
be the argument, but I disagree with that argument. So
okay, it could never help. Nobody could ever.
Of course,
what?
Look at that's not even my fucking point. You fucking get so happy about you are absolutely all for fucking big fucking you get enjoyment out of it, man.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
I just take the counterpoint sometimes. It's very easy to say.
That's not what you were doing.
It's very easy to say, fucker. Oh, gee, that's bullshit. The insurance company should totally pay these people.
That's not even
what
if
they're
saying.
partly at fault for what happened? That's all I'm saying, asshole.
No, you're not.
If they are partly at fault, they should get it.
What you were saying. You're happy about it. You're like literally sitting here giddy, like this is awesome. I'm so glad that corporations are doing this. That's now you can't sit there and say yes.
This is all right. Here's the difference between me and you. I hold stock in some of these corporations. So what happens to corporations matter to me. I know you don't have shit in terms of a 401k or anything going forward. So I tend to look at things maybe in a different light than you do. I.e. that these fucking corporations are real. They're real. They're real people behind it. There's real people with real money at stake.
Dude. I understand
so why don't you fucking just take a look from that side for once instead of just going, oh, that's bullshit. That big company can pay anybody anything they want.
That's not what I'm saying.
They should. They always should.
That's not what I'm saying.
Take a look at the other side sometime.
That is not
what are you saying then?
Saying that it's sick or you get this enjoyment when it's weird to me and you're like, this is awesome. Good for them. Good for fucking these people. Fucking weird, man.
Get me.
No, I don't have any. There's no. Just
I'm
weird.
Fucking weird.
It is. It's weird to me.
What?
Like you're almost like you're happy that these people. I mean,
if someone is at fault for if someone is at fault, and it can be argued how much they could be at fault for this, for posting a simple picture. I know everybody does it, so I know 90% of the people out there are going, "Fuck you, Jay." Everybody does that. But listen to my argument. If you are in part at fault for what happens in your home in terms of a robbery, then why should you just get to collect willy-nilly from the insurance company? There's real people and real money behind this insurance company.
It, man.
Then why is that so fucking crazy and weird?
it just seems odd to me that
I would look at it from that other side.
No, I don't know.
How would you have a hard time proving that though?
To Mike's point, someone like me who posts stuff on Facebook all the time, it would be weird that a week went by and I had nothing on my stuff. So wouldn't that be weird?
Go ahead and post something, you in a fucking random restaurant, whatever. You know, I'm dude, you don't have to sit there on the beach with you and you know looking out at the ocean.
I think there's a difference between, like, people tend to go on vacation and post 400 pictures of, here we are on our windsurfing lesson in the Bahamas. Here we are in Europe. Here we are. Like, you do that stuff, and it would be, especially if you figure out, if you really think about who are usually following you.
Right.
They're people in your vicinity. They're people that may know you.
That's true.
They're people that are living amongst you. It's not like it's just randomly people that don't know you. I mean, it's more so for us, but most people's Facebook pages are inhabited by people that are in your area that know you. And so it would be very easy to go, fuck, I didn't know the Fadies were gone for 2 weeks. I know where the Fadies live. Fuck the Fadies. That's a sweet manor. It'd be easy to target.
If I did it,
go.
Especially for people like us. If I have a shit ton of friends on here that are from the show that I don't have a fucking clue. So you're right. If our family went on a family vacation, I guess that would be, looking at it now, I probably would think twice about it. It'd be a little disconcerting.
Someone's changing their
No. That's not what I said.
Someone's thought before speaking.
That is not what I fucking said, man.
Well, thought after speaking.
No,
but
that's not what I said. You're fucking asshole. That's not what I said.
Oh shit. No, it's just eye-opening. That's all. I wouldn't have thought, but I think if you were to go to court over something like that, wouldn't it be hard to argue that, well, just because I posted pictures doesn't mean that the robber saw that on my Facebook and targeted my house? How the fuck would you be able to tell?
Oh, I know. That's a different issue.
I think that would be a very hard argument unless they went, unless they were in court and said, I went on his Facebook page. I knew he was out of town for a week. And
they caught the guy and he had, indicated how he figured out.
This is my game. I target people in my area that are on Facebook or whatever, and I find out who's out of town, and I know it's an easy mark.
Yeah, that's a different issue than whether the insurance company should even have an opportunity to argue that.
That wasn't even my issue at all from the beginning, and you know
it. Anyway, before we get to email, we got a couple quick stories to do. Photos taken by police. So we got a girl that dies. She's 20 years old. Jessica Maja is her name. She was killed on like New Year's a couple years ago. And there were photos taken of this girl. So in the back of the car, they got photos of her in the back of the car. She's wearing jeans and a t-shirt. And however, there's a lawsuit now as photos have been provided by the family attorney show police removed her body from the vehicle. They then proceeded to undress her at the scene. So her naked body is laying out on the street.
Dude,
and police,
that's her right there?
Yeah.
It's fuckers, man. If they did this. Honestly, you could see people doing that.
They then photographed her naked corpse, which they manipulated into various poses.
Oh, now, come on, dude.
Now,
this is so nasty.
This is the first photo I've seen of her. I was willing to put big money that she was hot.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Yeah. Not that makes it right. I'm not saying it makes it right, but I'm not shocked that she's cute, and she is. According to the mother, this happened in 2009, New Year's Eve, 2009. The officers who removed Jessica's clothing at the scene of the accident created a false impression of what happened that night. People think my daughter died from having sex, not from somebody being drunk and killing her, because they took these photos. By the time everybody else got to the scene, all the ambulances, everyone else, she was partially naked because they made her naked. So the rumors and allegations they made it believable. Which, in December, the sheriff's office denied the pictures existed and called the family's claims bizarre. They said there were multiple independent witnesses on the scene that night, and the crime scene photos taken, which would have prevented the scenario described from happening. We're sorry for the family's loss. But the sheriff's department is no longer disputing the fact that the photos exist. Instead, they now claim that it was medically necessary for deputies to remove Jessica's clothing and take nude photos of her dead body as it lay on the ground, sprawled out on a tarp.
Dude, that's just grim.
Yeah.
Gross. Why would... Don't look at me like, well, I could see, want to see
I'm not
that.
saying she
Dude,
asked
she's
for it by
dead.
being hot, but
She's freaking dead.
yeah, I know. I wasn't siding with anybody here. Just presented the
You
story.
should side with one person and not the cops.
I didn't side with the
No,
cops.
I said you. No, I know, but you said I'm not siding with anybody. You should side with somebody in here.
Well,
Yeah, there's a right answer to this one, Mike. Those
I'll-
pictures should not have been taken.
Well, I don't know what the process was at the scene, and
But the nature of the injuries
Yeah,
might have required some sort of chest compression without any sort of bra or clothing to get in the way.
I mean, if they were going for the shock, and you've got the metal wires under the brassiere,
Could kill her.
could kill her. It could kill that dead body. So you remove said bra, and then you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
an electric shock. I don't know. I haven't been in law enforcement as long as some people, so I'm not sure.
Who knows? Her pants might have been very restrictive, wanting blood flow.
Yeah,
to be
you're trying to pump, and they're so tight.
Yeah.
You need to get them off and loosen things up. Try to get. I don't know. Just
We're not doctors.
no.
Dude, that's inexcusable.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Can't undress a
Is this-
body.
Is this boys being boys? Is that what's going
I
on
hope
here?
not. That's dude. Really, like honestly, I can't even.
So you're
I don't
hoping
get
for
it.
you're either hoping it's boys are being boys or some rogue sick ass fuck who would bang a dead body is
Dude, I'm
within
talking
your
about-
department is in your
Right.
midst.
Yeah.
Which one's worse? I don't know.
I've done a
well,
lot of things in my
I'm
life that are boys will be boys, and I've never been with friends where I would have thought to ever consider taking a girl that was dead.
I'm trying to think what
Like you've been presented with that
I
scenario.
know, but you're right. You're right. But if I would,
You don't know how you'd react in that. Either.
You're okay. You're right.
That's true. We
No,
don't.
I
Can't
do
say
know.
for sure.
I do.
I'm trying to think what the thought process would be. Is it strictly like, oh my God, that chick's gorgeous, and then taking advantage of an opportunity? Like, is that what's going on here?
But for what? That's what I don't even get. For what?
I know,
What pictures
man.
where are you going to use these?
Well, just for yourself, I'm assuming.
So you're gonna go home and like whack off the dead body pictures?
I don't know,
Dude.
or go show your buddies, like, oh, look at this hot chick that died tonight. I mean, you see guys take pictures of dead bodies. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to figure out like why someone would do something like that.
I guess it'd be either one of those.
Yeah.
You're hot to take it home.
Probably figuring they're
rock
cops
it.
too, that nothing's going to happen to them because they're cops. They just can justify whatever
Yeah.
happened at the scene.
You've watched Breaking Bad, right?
No, but
No.
Wouldn't you be at all concerned though that this body's naked? And somebody's gonna come and take care of this body, right?
And you know it's
and,
going to
and
be.
don't you think there's gonna be a question asked like, wait, she died in a car accident? Why is she naked, guys?
Yeah, when that's what the mom's allegation was, that it gave this impression that she was fucking in the back of the car, and when she wasn't, because
So the cops or whoever taking these pictures, that just doesn't concern you?
Who, me?
No, I'm saying I'm trying to get in the heads of these guys that took the pictures.
Yeah,
that just
yeah.
doesn't concern you that this chick's naked. Are you
Yeah.
thinking you're gonna put her clothes back on? What are you thinking at that point?
I don't know. I can't say what they'd
and
be
then,
thinking.
by the way,
But I know I was going to say from Breaking Bad, like that was they'd come upon dead bodies, detectives and stuff, and it's like, yeah, well, this guy's off my plate. Don't have to worry about him anymore, and send a text to a buddy of theirs, and it's some fucking dead dude. So it wouldn't shock me that people would be taking advantage of some scenario like that, where it's like, hey, remember that fucker we were chasing 2 years ago? Guess what? Boom. And I guess that's a different thing than a dead. But maybe it's like you see so many dead bodies, they just become dead bodies.
Yeah.
It's a
look
worth-
at this one. It's hot.
Yeah. Hey, we found a hot dead body today. Check it out. Instead of being something like go whack off.
But it sounded like the pictures. They said they took pictures that were sexual. Like it wasn't just her naked body. Didn't they say like positions or something?
It kind of alluded to posing. And then this is just the allegations from. And I obviously we haven't seen the pictures. I have no idea. But
Don't Google the pictures.
No. I won't do
All
that.
right, E. There you go.
What?
Get
I'm
it
not-
done.
why
Be
do
a
I have
pro.
to do this?
Specs voice, go.
No, I'm not doing it. Hello, my name is Biggie.
Specs voice!
No, I'm not doing it, man. And I'm one of the most amazing radio/podcast personalities of all time. I hate talking about myself. Can I
read it?
Write different ones. I'm here to tell you about an incredibly prodigious dealership, Zod Ford and Holly. Not only am I one of the most significant employees there, but I also believe there is not a more distinguished dealership in town. Yes, they have the hottest sales staff in Oakland County, and ironically, they also have the sweetest car deals around, period. As you know, there is a 98% chance I will not get penetrated on the Vegas Strip in a few short months. Therefore, I implore you to hurry into Zot Ford now, take advantage of their marvelous deals, and meet me, Big E, while I still have my anal hymen intact.
I laugh at that every time.
I do too.
Even if I get a prostate exam, I would assume I'd still have my anal hymen intact. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you soon at Zot Ford and Holly. Get there.
What do we got for email?
We got some email. Let's see here. D writes in, hey guys, was listening to 327 about the cremation. So yesterday's story about the wrongful cremation of the one guy.
Yep.
And it reminded me of my great grandfather. When he died, he was cremated, but my grandma had issues with the family. So she had my sister and I fill the other urns with dirt. Mind you, we were 12 when we did this, so we didn't think anything of it. Only my mom and my sister still know about this 20 plus years later. So I guess I'm not following that. So he died, he was cremated, but my grandma had issues with the family. So she had her and her sister fill the other urns with dirt.
What?
So are they supposed to each get half or something? Like half of them goes to this side of the family, half.
There you go.
I don't know, maybe.
And the side of the family she had issues with just got dirt.
Oh,
I mean, who's going to open the urn, right?
Yeah.
Ugh, you guys are awesome. D. Thanks, D.
Thanks, D.
John writes in. It's an interesting scenario.
Uh-oh.
Sometime in the 2002 time frame, I was an account manager for a beer distributor, and the Farmer Jack that used to be on 23 Mile Gratiot in Chesterfield Township was one of my accounts. On this fateful day, I wasn't feeling particularly well, but didn't think too much of it and went to work per usual. I got to this account pretty early on in the day, so it was probably around 10 a.m. As I'm walking the aisles looking for the manager to speak to, I started feeling a rumbling in my stomach, and then I got that feeling that I needed to fart. Uh-oh. When I went to do so, a whole bunch of wet poo emerged in addition to the fart. Classic shart, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I immediately knew that I was in trouble, as there was obviously an eruption of shit about to take place. I was about 6 aisles over from where the bathroom was located in the front of the store. I feel the need to point out that on this day, I chose to wear a very light colored khaki pair of pants.
Oh, no.
I judiciously began making my way toward the bathroom at kind of a half walk, half run. We know that.
Yep, the duck walk.
Fearing that if I went too slow, the existing poo would start to show through my underwear and pants. On the flip side, if I went too fast, I ran the risk of more poo slipping out.
Oh, no.
I finally made my way to the bathroom, fearing that at this point, I must have a stain on the back of my pants. I must point out that the bathroom at this particular store was a single unit, meaning only one person could use it at a time.
Oh.
There was only one toilet and no urinal, so essentially it's like a private bathroom. Plus side to this is that there's never anyone shitting in the stall next to you. The downside to this is when one toilet is out of order, you don't have a backup option. Imagine my horror as I open the door to the bathroom, only to find the toilet already clogged with shit and the water level creeping perilously close to the top of the bowl. What was I to do? My underwear is already full of shit with plenty more on the way. I'd never make it to another bathroom, and the lone toilet is unusable. I did the only thing I could do. I pulled my pants and underwear down, grabbed the garbage can, and unleashed the mother of all diary bombs into the garbage. Once I was done, I looked down at the carnage inside my underwear. I had no choice but to take them off and throw them in the garbage as well. So here I am in this war zone of a bathroom with my khaki pants, no underwear, and the fear of spending the rest of the day commando with an upset stomach and wearing light pants. So I did the only logical thing I could think of. I stuffed as much toilet paper into my butt crack as I could to avoid any leakage and went on with my day. I spent the next 8 hours that way until I got home and changed.
Oh, my God.
Why it never occurred to me to just go to Target or something and buy a new pack of underwear, I have no clue, but that's my shart story.
Wow.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
That's
John.
Hilarious.
God,
That's
when you hear
funny.
stories like that, it's so funny because you realize that we all have probably situations in some way like that, but that's almost like a television word. Like that's Kramer-esque.
Well, remember when we went to well, you weren't there, but Drew and Mark and I went to VaTech and went to the Virginia Tech Duke football game.
Gotcha.
And I remember going into one of the bathrooms there, and it was a fucking disaster. And sitting in the corner, I have pictures of this too. Sitting in the corner is just someone has discarded a full pair of whitey tighties with giant shit stains in them, and they've just like discarded them in the corner. There's just toilet paper everywhere. Looks like a bomb. And I was like, God,
It happens.
what animal did this?
Dude, it's a bad state if you have to actually go number 2 at like an actual sporting event. Oh my God, the Joe or the
well, we've talked about it when your kids have to go.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
almost, you're son of a bitch. Really? These toilets are just wrecked, and you're
just pissing on them.
Yeah, you're holding your kid above it.
Oh,
And they're like, just put me. No, just you're holding them above it and just letting it fall out of them because you're like, there's no way I'm putting this pristine little ass on this mess of a toilet.
that's hilarious. Have you ever been to a bar? Usually it'd be like shitty rock bars I would go to, like Harpo's or something.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Harpo's.
Yeah, and there'd be like a line of stalls. There'd be a shitload of people in there. It's hotter than hell, and they've taken the doors off the.
Yes.
And there's just some fucking dude sitting there holding his balls, just like, don't look at me,
Like,
dude. Really?
I feel like they
Really?
did they have stalls on the doors in high school? I feel like they didn't have doors, maybe in the locker room or something. That's so weird. Why do they do that? They take the doors off.
I have
Just
no idea.
malfeasance. I guess they don't want people doing drugs and shit.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I just remembered at Harpo's, I think it was one night when they had like
Banging.
15-cent pitchers of beer or something.
It's just you just do not want to have to do that at a concert or a sporting event.
No.
Dave writes in men and E. I'll take men.
Men.
In the story of the ride along, the person in the Jeep was not put out of his misery because he did not have an organ donor card. So yesterday's ride along story, that's a simple explanation. He didn't have the organ donor card, so they weren't out to kill the guy.
Okay. Well,
I was surprised that no one thought of that scenario. Well
Yeah.
put, Dave. Thanks for a great show, Dave. Thank you, sir. Matt writes in concerning the Land of the Lost. We talked about that crazy ass island yesterday.
you did.
I mentioned the Land of the Lost.
Yeah, yeah.
And my memory, and by the way, everybody hit me with Sleestack today. Sleestacks were the stupid lizard.
that
Alien things.
Lambier played.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
Was it Sally and Lambier?
No, I don't think Sally was one of those.
What, was it just Lambier?
Just Lambier, yeah.
Okay.
He grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, man. He was some
that's
rich
right.
kid and probably got on the movie set because of who his parents were.
Yeah.
But Matt writes in, didn't Will Ferrell make a really bad movie version of The Land of the Lost? Yes, he did. That was
Really?
a brutal movie, dude.
Never saw it.
He was actually eaten and shit out of a dinosaur. If anybody's seen that.
You know what?
There was a scene where he was actually shit out of a dinosaur.
Really?
It was just ridiculous.
Wow. Never saw it.
Awful movie. Steve writes in, all hail to the king and greetings to the cult leader, as well as that asshole and some new guy. And of course, that normcore, incoherent, maniacal babbler or whoever. All right.
Okay.
That covers everybody.
Yep.
First off, I'd like to call order to the podcast. To the podcast.
Christ.
Done. Just had to write in because of a very strange interaction I had with a senior friend from the north. As you may know, I put the original DCAS logo on the back of my Chrysler 300. Wish I would have bought it from Zott Ford. Sorry. Well, I was shopping one day and an older gentleman asked me about the Tigers season. I assumed he had the Detroit Tigers. I assumed he saw my decal on the back and he also had a Detroit Tigers decal on his rear window. And we had that in common. Once I explained my logo was from a podcast, not a Tigers logo, this 80-something-year-old asked, "What's a podcast?" God, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to explain.
We've all been there, right?
Yes.
I tried very hard to explain what a podcast was, but clearly he was dumbfounded. So, not to accuse
Just tell him, have you ever heard of the internet?
the interweb. So, not to confuse him anymore, I simply said, "Go Tigers." At that point, I felt like I pulled a Big E move. Just get
out of it.
past this inconvenience. Yada yada yada.
Exactly.
Needless to say, I felt horrible, but then thought, hey, at least I'm not Big E and managed to have a great day. Not like Mike's good day, but a genuinely great day.
Yeah.
And Eric, my great day was due to laughing along with the DCAS, playing with my two young life burdens, having a few pops while barbecuing ribs, awaiting my wife's return from work.
Ugh.
And because of my daddy duties, my reward from said wife was a glorious trip to the closet. Jay knows what I mean. Yes, I do, sir. So, yes, it ended up being a great day. And to that I say, good day, sir. I said, good day. Ciao, bye, and have a great day, all you fuckers. And that is an order!
God bless it, dude.
Shit it leaves the table.
And you get on me about, that's not going to spill something one day.
I have all my things appropriately covered.
I know, but I
Red
don't,
Bull?
and I'm sitting right next to you.
We're all right. We'll save the rest for Monday.
Sounds good.
Good week, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And have a fine weekend.
Yeah.
All
And
of you.
doing anything special? You've got stand up tonight, right?
Yes, tonight at Laugh Tracks.
in Novi, 8:30.
I got soccer stuff.
Soccer
Lots of
stuff.
soccer stuff. It's going strong.
If anyone you guys want to join me for the Italian Film Festival,
No.
I think
No?
I'll be cutting. What did I say last time? Slitting my wrists. I think I'll be cutting off my hands
okay,
instead of going.
very good, very good. If you change your mind, E,
I
it's
will.
an open invite.
I would. I'd have to go back to those. What are the man show days? Where the things they'd rather do than watch this movie?
Oh, yeah,
any
those
of
were
those-
great.
Any of those would apply to what I would rather do. than,
Yeah,
like
we should play those, dude. Those were funny as shit. I would rather squat over a flaming hibachi with.
right. I can't think of anyone specific right now, but
Yeah, those
a
are.
lot of them involve something with anal and fireworks.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good weekend, everybody. Continue to share the show and all that shit. Have a good, great weekend, and we'll see you guys first thing Monday for an all new edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow.